Thank you, everybody. Hello, students. Hello, other people on this call. It is great to meet all of you. My name is Ana Luisa Teodoro. I'm the International Recruitment Specialist at St. Francis College, and it is my pleasure to be joining you all today to share a little bit more about our community and a little bit more about our school, and to help all of you join us in our wonderful, wonderful place at St. Francis College in Brooklyn Heights, New York. I see some students joining into the chat. Say hello, please. Introduce yourselves, say hello. I would love to learn a little bit more about you. And additionally, if you have any questions, you can definitely drop them in the chat. We'll be able to help you along the way. And I would love to introduce my colleague, Elizabeth Baldwin, to share a little bit more about herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Baldwin. I'm the International Student Advisor and Designated School Official, and I'm here to work with you not only pre-arrival, but those of you who will be joining us in St. Francis eventually, that's the goal. I'll be working with you as current students too. So I work with pre-arrival, with I-20, proof of funds, all of that good stuff. And then I transition with you and provide support as current students as you navigate life in New York, life at St. Francis College, and refer you to all the amazing offices and services that we have on campus.
And as we begin, I see everybody kind of dropping a hellos, dropping their names. That is absolutely fantastic. What I would love if people in the chat, as they had some questions, have some thoughts, keep them in the back of your mind, but also drop some majors that you're interested in. As we go through the presentation, we'll be able to kind of cater a little bit to what you're interested, what your needs are. And then I know Elizabeth as well is going to be kind of typing away in the chat, being able to connect with all of you. So if you're interested in some specific majors or programs, let us know, and we'll be able to tell you a little bit more about them as well. And I see my colleague, also Bora Dimitrov, is also in the chat. He's going to be joining in on the call as well. He works very closely with us as one of the directors for St. Francis College International, meaning that we have a program at our college specifically for international students, meaning that we have a section that's devoted completely for all of you in terms of resources, in terms of study abroad, and we're building this really, really large and robust community for international students to have a place on campus to be able to get all the information that they need, but additionally to have a place that they can call their home away from home. So with that being said, I see some students in the chat typing in, we're interested in psychology, business administration, which we have a really, really great business administration program and a 5-year psychology program that is able for you to get a master's degree at the end of it, so not just a traditional bachelor's degree. So in speaking of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start our presentation, so to share a little bit more about the college and then also kind of generate those questions in your head. So as I share that, I know Elizabeth's going to be typing into the chat, and please don't feel shy. We are here to help you, and we also absolutely adore any questions that you as our international students are going to be having for us. I'm going to share my screen. So a little bit about St. Francis College is that we are built on the 3 pillars and the 3 ideas of dream, serve, and achieve. We want you to dream big. We want to serve your community. And additionally, we want you to achieve all your hopes and dreams in the best possible way as possible. In going on to that, some details about St. Francis College is that we were founded in 1859. We're located in New York City's Brooklyn Heights. And then something that I really do like to stress is that we are a private school with a public school education, meaning that you get all of the perks, all of the excitement, and all of the special attention to details that you would get in a private school, but at a significantly more affordable price. And then also, we have 70 plus undergraduate majors. So you have plenty of different degrees to choose from. In addition, we have an honors program. And if you were considering pursuing a graduate degree, we have 4 graduate degree programs, meaning that you can get your bachelor's or your bachelor's of science or arts in that kind of area and move forward in the future pursuing a secondary education at the college level. We also have really small classroom sizes, which is important to note that at St. Francis College, you're not just going to be a regular student with a name and a number that comes in and out. You're going to be a person with a name and a story, and also with dreams and aspirations to achieve. So your professors are going to know you by name. The faculty is going to know you by name. As you walk into the building, the security guards are going to know you as you walk in. So in our small classroom sizes, with us having a total population of about 2,600 students, it's going to be intimate and it's going to be well understood of exactly where you want to be going. Additionally, just some fun rankings to know that we are one of the top regional colleges in the North, and we feature in several magazines of one of our credibilities. And then additionally, kind of the best value of your education in terms of how much money that you're spending for education. And looking at a little bit at a map of New York, I know many of you probably have seen a lot of American movies and shows. Oops, hold on. I don't know if, actually, is everybody able to see the screen right now? I don't know if it's able to be going through. Actually, let me reshare that right now. I want to make sure everybody's seeing the presentation that I'm sharing. Hold on.
You could just see the main cover page, the dream, serve, and achieve.
Can everybody see this one?
There we go.
Brooklyn Heights, New York.
Now we can.
I'm going to share it on this one, so it's a little bit easier for everybody to see. It might not be the prettiest, but I promise you it'll be easier to see it. So I'm looking a little bit about the Brooklyn Heights neighborhood in New York. This is Manhattan over here. So this is kind of what you see in the movies and all the shows. And then this little red dot over here is St. Francis College. And these are some of the views that you'll be seeing around New York. So we are one subway stop away from Manhattan, which is about maybe a 10-15-minute ride from New York. And we like to say, Brooklyn is our, Manhattan, the city is our home. Brooklyn is our backyard. You have everything at your disposal. If you're a student that's interested in business, interested in finances, we are one stop away from Wall Street, one of the biggest financial sectors of New York. We have connections internationally and nationally with different areas of media, of tech, of finances. So you'll be able to have resources all over New York State and also globally. And then a little bit about our campus. Once you walk in, St. Francis College, you're greeted by these beautiful gold doors. And additionally, these are some of the views of our athletic courts that we have. And I'll talk a little bit more about athletics in a second, but these are just some of the views that you'd be seeing since we're in a virtual setting, and unfortunately, we can't come in and have to show you a wonderful tour of the school, so we'll do our best to show it virtually. Additionally, we have state-of-the-art labs, saying that if you're interested in science, if you're interested in biology, you're not just getting textbook research, you're getting hands-on practical work inside of the fields that you're studying. And then additionally, if you're interested in media, we have state-of-the-art sound and tech labs. I have alumni of students that were able to start podcasts. I know an alumni that was able to work in media for Coca-Cola after they were able to graduate, and that was directly based on the hands-on practice that they were able to do as a student at St. Francis College. And one of the things that I'm really proud of is our residence halls. Our residence halls are completely brand new, meaning that if you decide to dorm and live on campus, our residence halls were created this past summer, completely renovated, and this is the very first semester that we have anybody living there. So it has 24-hour security, free Wi-Fi, kitchen, a rooftop deck. So when you're staying on our dorms, and also later on when we drop some information in the chat, you'll be able to look at to see some of the pictures of what we have. And we do have double or triple rooms, meaning that you'll either have one roommate or two other roommates, and you have a private kitchen and bathroom that is all your own. And then on the best part, this is your view. This skyline view of the city and everything is the view that you will get from your dorm. So that's something that I'm really excited to share with all of you. Additionally, in terms of a little bit about our personalized education, like I had mentioned prior, we have small classroom settings. We have flexible faculty office hours, and we do a really, really good job of making sure that our students are really connected into student life and their academic life, meaning that we have clubs on campus for international students, for any kind of students domestically and internationally. And additionally, we are super welcoming in terms of the way that our faculty is really connected into the work that the students is doing. And speaking of our faculty, we have popular study abroad programs. So if you're a student that is international, but is also interested in studying around the world, we have programs in Paris, France, in Segovia, Spain, just to name a few places. And additionally, our faculty is internationally recognized, producing works that are featured in academic journals around the world. So you're a part of a really intellectually capable and smart community. And speaking about the community that we built, we have networks of a lifetime. St. Francis College does a really, really good job, in my opinion. I think anybody who's attended the school would agree, in making sure that our students has all the tools they can to succeed, meaning that we're just not going to leave you to figure out everything on your own. We have a career service center that helps you get jobs, helps you look at your resume, your cover letter, all of these different things, and additionally for internships. So if you're a student that's interested in pursuing your education and kind of spreading those feelers elsewhere, you'll be able to speak to our guidance counselors, our career counselors, to see what is good what's a good fit for you to work, and also what's a good fit for you in pursuing internships to further your career and further your interests in that regard. We have over 16,000 St. Francis College alumni just in the Manhattan area. So you have all these connections and networks of people that are intimately invested in your success and your future. So that's something that I love to share. And additionally, our athletics. If in the chat, if anybody wants to drop in, if you're a student athlete, I would love to see that. I would love to know if any student here is interested in sports. So St. Francis College has 21 NCAA Division I sports teams, which is a lot of letters and a lot of words, just to say that St. Francis College has 21 sport teams that participate and compete at the highest athletic level. So of the different divisions, St. Francis College competes at the highest level that you can at the college level for sports. Some of the sports are included is basketball, volleyball, soccer, water polo, swimming and diving that participate in these athletics complexes and on these championships. And additionally, if you are a student that is recruited by a coach, we can definitely walk you through that process. But we have athletic scholarships available for students that are coming to compete. And we have about 102 international student athletes that compete in these sports. So you'd be a part of a very vibrant community. And also, that's our mascot. He's one of the terriers. So that's also just a fun little fact to know. And these are just some images of the sports that we have played. We have our women's volleyball team, we have our soccer. Our basketball team is probably one of the most popular, I want to say, in terms of people coming out to watch these games. So just a little bit of an idea of something that you potentially could be a part of. In terms of looking at majors, I know a lot of people in the chat are dropping down some things that they're interested in. We have, again, 70 plus majors. Some of the most popular include accounting and business law, management, economics. Also, if you are a student that is interested in pursuing medical school in the future, we have a pre-med biology track that will allow you to apply to medical school to pursue a career in some kind of doctor field in the future. So also, we have political science, psychology. Our nursing program is open to international students as well. So if you have any questions about that, by all means, please drop in the chat, or later on when I drop my email in, you can definitely send me an email and I'll do my best to connect you with anybody that will be able to talk to you about it more. Additionally, in terms of graduate programs, we offer, again, 4 graduate programs in accounting, psychology, management, and creative writing. So that's something to also be interested in as well. Now, we're going to talk about costs and scholarships, which I'm sure is the question on everybody's mind of how do I get into this school and how much is it going to cost me? Well, I have some good news with that. So St. Francis College, without any scholarship, so this is no scholarship, no anything, just the straight cost, is about $26,798 US per year. Now, I know that seems like a high number, but as an international student, you automatically come in with 2 separate scholarships. One is called a merit-based scholarship, and that is a scholarship that is available to you based on the transcripts that you give me for evaluation. So if you are a B average and higher, which is about a 3.0 GPA, and we'll go over those evaluations later, but it's about a 3.0 B average GPA, grade point average, you come in with a scholarship. Excuse me, this one should be changed just a minute to 7,500. And then this one here, if you have a B average or lower, comes to 3,500, meaning that you automatically come into the school with this already scholarship being done. And then additionally, regardless of your GPA, you have an international scholarship of 6,500. Meaning that if you are B average and higher, your scholarship per year is about 14,500. If you're B average and lower, it comes to about 10,500. So automatically, even if you're a B minus average student or lower, you're already paying 50% of tuition about. So you already come into the school saving money. And also a really important thing that we do is that we offer discounted room and board for international students. So that's another thing. If you're interested in living on campus, we offer meal plans. So it's a meal plan, a tuition plan, and room and board for a price of either $30,000 or $34,000 based on your GPA. So we can go over those prices and kind of tuition-based costs and scholarships as well later on if any student is significantly concerned about that, absolutely. But just so everybody knows, you automatically come into the school with 2 separate scholarships simply for applying. So that's something that I love to share to all my international students. Additionally, we have an international essay competition. So if you are an incoming freshman student, meaning that you never attended any college in the past, that you are simply coming from high school, you are an incoming freshman student applying for the fall semester of 2021. Every fall semester we do this. You are eligible for our international essay competition, which if you are one of the 4 students that are chosen, you get a free tuition scholarship for 4 years, meaning that you do not pay tuition for all 4 years of going to school. And we'll definitely have all this information shared in more details on our website, which will drop all that information in the chat. But I just want to make it eligible to all of you to know that you will be able to participate in an essay competition to possibly win an entire 4 years of St. Francis tuition completely free. Now, let's go into a little bit about admissions requirements. So this is going to be the things that I would need from all of you in order to apply. First things first is that I would love if everybody on this call submit an application. The application is completely free. You do not need to pay for it. The application itself, I know Elizabeth will drop it in the chat for us. It's the link to apply. You submit an application with your name, your contact information, so you can stay in touch with us. So you're able to get reminders of different meetings that we're going to be having. You'll be able to jump in and participate in our bi-weekly international student sessions, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But I highly recommend that everybody on this call first submit an application. Secondly, the next thing that I will need is translated and evaluated high school transcripts if you've attended no college. So those high school transcripts have to be translated into English. So they have to be able to be read in English. And secondly, evaluated in an American point scale system. And I have all this links of how to do it again on our St. Francis College International Student page. We're partnered with a service that is doing a highly discounted price for all international students to submit all their documents in one to get it translated and evaluated. And another really cool thing about that is that once you have those documents, you'll be able to send it out to multiple schools if you're applying to different schools in the United States. But I gotta say, I think St. Francis College might be the best fit for you regardless. So on that end, it is going to be 1, an application, 2, your translated and evaluated high school transcripts, and 3, what I would need is proof of English fluency. So that means I would need an English exam test, like a TOEFL, an IELTS, or even a Duolingo test. And all these passing scores are here listed on this chart. And this is on our page, and I can go over them with you as well again. For a TOEFL, it is a 70. For the IELTS, it is a 6. For a Duolingo exam, which is the one that I highly recommend because it's one of the cheaper options, and you're able to take it at home, is a 95. A PTE is a 50, and an ITEP is a 3.7. So you would take one of these exams and submit the scores to us to prove for English fluency. And additionally, SAT and ACT scores are completely optional. So you do not require an SAT score in order to apply for St. Francis College, unless you are a nursing applicant, which even then we're doing some exceptions due to COVID, or if you are applying as a student athlete. Student athletes do require SAT scores. But if you're looking to apply as a student athlete, you've been recruited, we can definitely talk about that a little bit more. And as we're nearing the end, I would love to just share with you all, and I'll zoom in so you're able to see these numbers a little bit better. I would love to share with you all some contact information. We have Bora Dimitrov, who's the manager of the international department at St. Francis College, as well as the men's water polo head coach. You can definitely send him an email. Esther Estelle is the administrative assistant and programming specialist for St. Francis College. Her contact information is there. Robert Oliva is the director of admissions, who you can also email him with any questions you have. But then, not to say more importantly, but I'm on this call, I'm speaking to you. You can contact me, Anna Luisa, at a.teodoro@sfc.edu. I'll drop all my contact information in the chat, as well as you can send me an email or a message on WhatsApp. I would love to speak to all of you. So as we near the end of this presentation, what I'm going to do is that I'll be dropping off a lot of links in the chat, and I see that I do have some questions coming in as well. What I'm going to do is I'll verbally answer some of them. I know We have Elizabeth that answered some of them, but I'll be able to just kind of speak to them as well. So if you're a transfer student, by all means, you're able to transfer into the school, and then also see what credits would be able to transfer over. So you're not going to start completely from scratch. So if you're a student who attended a university, we can work and see what transfer credits are going to be able to come to St. Francis College. In terms of ESL programs, we are partnered. While we don't have an ESL program on campus, what we do is that we are partnered with the New York Academy of English Language, meaning that you would be able to come to St. Francis College, take ESL classes, and then eventually transfer to St. Francis College as a full-time student once you've reached an English proficiency level. If you want more answers about that, I'll be more than happy to connect you with the New York Academy of English, and so we'll be able to talk about that a little bit more. In terms of certificate programs, we do offer one program in radiology in which you're able to get a radiology certificate along with your Bachelor of Science in that regard. But in terms of straight certificate programs, no, we are mostly a Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science undergraduate school. So in terms of a 2+2 dual degree programs with Turkish universities, unfortunately, we don't offer that. But like I said, if you are taking something at a Turkish university and decide to transfer over, we can definitely work with you on that one. Do we have any Turkish faculty members? I believe we do. What I can do is definitely reach out to our faculty and staff and see who they are, and I will be able to connect you with them by name. Off the top of my head, I don't know exactly their names, but I know we do have a Turkish student presence on campus. You would not be the only one, and I can definitely see either we have Turkish faculty members or faculty members that have connections with the Turkish academic community as well. So that's one really important thing that I like to stress about St. Francis College. If we don't have the answers, you can best believe we're going to find somebody for you who does. And some other stuff about living costs in New York. I know Elizabeth mentioned about some students pay between $500 and $1,500 per month for rent in Brooklyn. I will not lie to you and say that living in New York is cheap, but it is not impossible. Living in New York is completely possible as somebody who's lived there my entire life, and especially for international students as well. Additionally, I know Elizabeth answered about rolling admissions, but I'll answer that a little bit more as well. We are a rolling admission school, meaning that we will try to accept you up until the very first day of class. It is, like I said, it is my job to help all of you succeed. It is my job to help all of you achieve your dreams and be able to get the education that you want to be getting. That being said, we do have an in-country deadline in terms of things going on with COVID. We're trying really, really hard to make sure that everybody is safe. Everybody is going to be able to travel, especially what's going on with travel restrictions. So that being said, for this coming spring term, we are planning to have all students who are planning to come in person to study by January 6th. So while we'll be accepting students up until the very first day of classes, approximately around January 6th is when you are going to be in country to come study. So in terms of, I see some questions about academics, athletic scholarship. So just to touch upon that, athletics themselves determine the scholarship. I can determine merit-based and admission scholarship, and then we work with the athletics team, to figure out that scholarship on their own. I see some questions about the tuition of departments of mechanical engineering and finance. So, and then also what's the lowest diploma that's accepted. So in terms of tuition, regardless of your program, the tuition is still the same of $26,798, and that is the same of whatever program that you decide to do. In terms of GPA, the lowest score that we accept is about a 2.2. Some exceptions can be made, but translate into, I don't know what that'd be on a Turkish scale system, but I can tell you on an American point scale system that is about a C. A little bit about a C, C plus on an American system is a 2.2 GPA. So I see that. I see if a student's not a part of a graduate or undergraduate program, maybe we do an internship. You're allowed to do internships if you are enrolled as a student. So if your question is, are you allowed to do an internship without being enrolled as a student? I do not believe that is possible. But if you are enrolled as a student, by all means, we'll do our absolute best to get you a part of an internship program, whether you're an undergraduate or a graduate student. I see a student asking B if there's wondering any 2-year degree programs. That depends on your credits that are transferring over. So I see that you attended 2 universities. If you have enough credits that transfer over, that's going to be able to shorten your years. Absolutely, it would be a 2-year degree program. Most of our programs are 4 years. There might be 1 or 2. It depends on the ones that you're interested. That would be able to be shortened into 2 years as well. Are there any student-friendly part-time jobs? That is a great question. So international students are eligible to work on campus. So if you're a student that is looking to work, can start work. I know Elizabeth just answered that question, which Elizabeth, thumbs up to you for your stellar job on that. International students are eligible to work on campus and build those relationships in order to apply for jobs. So absolutely, there are student-friendly part-time jobs on campus. And in terms of scholarship requirements, to go over that, simply for applying, the merit-based and international student scholarship, that is automatically given to you. The requirements for that is simply getting accepted into the school. You don't have to do anything else. I do that work for you. But in terms of looking for the essay competition scholarship, you have to be accepted into the school, be an incoming freshman, and be applying for the fall term. So in terms of that essay competition scholarship, that is the requirement for that. Other than that, no other requirements are needed for scholarship. I know Elizabeth answered a question about a legal work permit while studying. She has a little bit about CPT and OPT, and that's going to be more questions of after you've been admitted into the school, and that's going to be after studying on campus for 1 year. So that's going to be kind of the information on that. Let me look in the chat to see if there was any other questions. Ooh. I see Bora question that we do have 1 Turkish faculty member. I'm just gonna apologize for how I'm gonna pronounce this name. Maybe all of you in the chat can correct me with how I pronounce the name. Professor Isa Kamar. So let me know if I pronounced that right. I would appreciate it. I see a student ask if we have business law program at the master's degree. Unfortunately, we do not have business law. We do have business management. We have the management and administration program, not a business law one. So I do see a lot of questions in Turkish. I wish I knew how to read and write so I could help you all with that, but I do appreciate the communication that is going on. What I'm going to do in the chat for everybody is I'm going to write my email again, just in case anybody wants to write that down. So that is my email address. And additionally, what I'll do for all of you is that I will write my WhatsApp number as well. So if you have a question, if you have a concern, and if you want to set up an appointment with me, I'll drop those 2 things. One, the first one is my email address. I think that is probably one of the best ways to get in touch with me. And then additionally, I'm going to write down my WhatsApp number. And this is my work WhatsApp number, so please send me a message and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. That is my WhatsApp number. And then additionally, what I'm going to drop in the chat is a link that if you want to schedule a one-on-one meeting with me, you'll be able to set that up on one of my links as well. I will put it right here in the chat. I just have to get to it. And let me put that in. I have one person saying that WhatsApp wasn't popular in the US. Well, guess what? It's popular for me. I like to say, no, everybody in the world uses WhatsApp. A little bit about my background. My parents immigrated from Brazil, so I'm very involved in the international community. And so a lot of people here in New York is a very, very big and vibrant international community. So a lot of people use WhatsApp. It's not something that's foreign or something that's going to be alien for people to use. Additionally, if you guys want to set up a one-on-one appointment with me or talk later on a little bit with Elizabeth after you've been accepted, because I anticipate I'm going to accept a lot of students from this call to join our wonderful community. You'll be able to jump in and be able to schedule a meeting with either with me and then eventually with Elizabeth, talk a little bit about the I-20 and visa process with that. And then I have one student asking a question that I think is going to be really important about studying online and then continue on campus. I'm sure a lot of you are a little bit worried about coming internationally, especially things going on with the pandemic, things going on with COVID-19. So St. Francis College is operating on several different ways. So we're going to be able to have you start in person. So for this upcoming spring term, so that's the term that starts this January, we are anticipating and we are hoping that St. Francis College will be in person. So we're moving forward with the idea that travel bans are going to be lifted and that things are going to be better in New York come this January. But we also have some plans in place, meaning that if borders are still closed, it's still hard for international students to come in person, embassies aren't open, we will be moving to a hybrid setting, meaning that you would be eligible, and you're going to stay tuned for this information because once we receive official word from the college, I'll be able to tell you more. And then also, if you submit an application and stay in touch with us, you'll be on this ongoing list of information that'll be going on. So if we decide to go hybrid, that means we'll have a mix of classes in person and online, where you would be eligible to complete that semester online and then come in person the following term. So that is going to be information that has to be finalized in the next coming weeks as we monitor the COVID-19 situation. So it is possible, but it's not a definite response right now. We're just waiting to see what New York is going to look like in the coming days in terms of COVID. So as students being able to attend all classes in person in the new academic year because of the pandemic, I know Elizabeth is answering that, but I'll also verbally answer that as well. We currently had international students that were coming from their international countries studying in New York. And they're doing a mix of hybrid, meaning that they're taking some classes online due to safety restrictions, and then they have some classes in person in which they come and they attend those classes. So I want everybody on this call to be very well aware that if you do come to study in the US, if you do decide to come study at St. Francis College, you will not be at risk for deportation. You will not be at risk for violating your student visa status because St. Francis College is having all the measures in place to make sure that you would be able to study legally in the States. Do I have any other questions in terms of that? I see some career opportunity questions. I know Elizabeth just answered that a little bit more about students after graduation. St. Francis College does a really great job of setting up or helping students seek jobs after campus and being able to apply for that as well. Elizabeth will be able to speak a little bit more about that, I think, on a case-by-case basis in terms of what OPT is and working after graduation. Do I have any other questions jumping in on this call? Anything else? Some fun things about New York, about Brooklyn, about St. Francis College is that we're really close to the Brooklyn Bridge. So I'm sure if any of you have seen it on a movie or heard about it on a podcast or things like that, you could walk across the Brooklyn Bridge into Manhattan, which is a really nice thing. If you're part of one of our sports teams, which you're eligible to go watch, the games and all these things like that, the soccer team practices on one of the piers. So we have a soccer field that's kind of on the pier of the water, which is a beautiful view as well. And I see one student just asked a question about what programs we offer for master's degree education. So what I'll do is I'll share that screen again, just so you're able to see that a little bit in better detail about some of the master's degrees that we offer. So we offer a Master of Science in Accounting, a Master of Arts in Psychology, a Master of Science in Management, and a Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing. So those are the 4 graduate degree programs that we offer at St. Francis College. All right, I'll leave that up for a second just in case anybody wants to read that. All right. And additionally, for our accounting and psychology programs, we do a 4+1 structure. Meaning that if you decide to come in as an undergraduate accounting or psychology major, the graduate degree program, instead of it being 2 years, would only be 1 year since you did the 4 years of undergrad. And so then you would be eligible to apply for the program at the graduate level and complete that in 1 year. So that's also something to keep in mind if you're interested in accounting or in psychology. I'll stop sharing my screen. And then I see the requirements for graduate application. Okay, that's a great question. So the graduate application differs just a little bit than the undergraduate one. First things first, submit an application at St. Francis/apply. I'll actually include that in the chat as well, just so people have that on their radar. Let me do that right now. Copy, and I'm going to put in the chat as opposed to answering on the questions. Elizabeth, I know, just dropped off. Oh, Elizabeth, you just dropped the link to apply. You beat me to it. So if you're interested in looking over there, you can definitely go in the chat and see apply now. So the very first thing for a graduate application is you submit an application through our portal, documented that you're applying as a graduate applicant. Number 2, a translated college transcript, meaning that we need it translated and evaluated, so it is in English and then into an American point scale system. You can use our service that we recommend called Spantran. I'll put that in the chat one more time as well, just so everybody has that information over there. So also you don't need to seek it anywhere else. I'll put that right here. So a translated and evaluated college transcript showing that you have a proof of a bachelor degree diploma, whether it's a bachelor in science or a bachelor in arts. I need something that's either showing that you're graduating or that you have already graduated and what is the degree that you obtained. So the translated and evaluated transcript. Additionally, I need a statement of purpose. Kind of that document's only 1 page long, just documenting what is your intent to study, what is the intent that you're going to be able to succeed in the program. I'll go on a little bit about these in a second. Elizabeth, would you mind dropping in the chat the tuition page so students are able to see that? Thank you. So that's one. It is application, a transcript, statement of purpose. Additionally, we would need 2 letters of recommendation. And then after the letter of recommendation, a copy of your cover letter or CV. And all of that should be in English. It should be in no other language. It could be written in a different language other than the English, but has to eventually be translated into English. And you can see all these graduate degree requirements on our SFC International Student page. I'll drop that in the chat one more time as well, so you're able to see that. And then if you're applying for a psychology or a Master of Fine Arts in Writing, you would need an additional writing sample attached to that. So that's a little, and you can again see all these details right now. I'm going to put that in the chat as well. This is our SFC International page. Right in the chat, that's the very last link that I shared. You can, all the information that I shared, you'll be able to see that once more written down. So in terms of the fees for graduate students, that is all listed on the tuition fees website as well. Do we have any other questions? They could be about school. They could be about life in New York. They could be about the visa process, which that's another note. We'll do everything we can to help you along with the visa process. So I know a lot of this information that I'm sharing is about admissions, but at a point of your acceptance, immediately as you're sent an acceptance letter, Elizabeth will definitely come in and be able to help you all in terms of getting the I-20 in order for you to apply for your F1 student visa straight away. So you'll be able to do that as well. Do I have any other questions? Any other comments, concerns? I'll look in the chat to see if there's anything else that wasn't answered. Did you guys have a fun time? I had a fun time speaking to all of you. It was great to see all of your hellos. I love it that I had some people drop in some smiley faces and emojis into the chat that made me really happy. So
my fingers are tired from so much typing and answering questions. I love it. You really kept those coming, and I could sense all of the energy. And we have a little bit more time. So if you have more questions, don't leave anything on the table. Let us know what your questions are.
I see some questions about life in New York. Okay. I'll share a little bit about different places of living in New York. I know Elizabeth is typing over there. How is life in Brooklyn? I gotta say, it's exciting. I say New York has something, and then Brooklyn and New York and that whole area has something for everybody. So if you're somebody who likes more quietness and somebody who likes finding little pockets of solitude, you have that. If you're somebody, and even now with things going on in the pandemic, there's life everywhere and different ways that you can think of. So if there's something that you're interested in, you will find it there. I'll give you a little bit of a story as an example. I have a friend who I frequently see her. She loves swing dancing, and her boyfriend is a jazz musician. So she goes to the Central Park in New York City, and her friends play instruments, play the saxophone, play the guitar, play the cello, and then her and her friends will swing dance in the park together. So if you're interested in kind of like dance communities, if you're interested in martial arts communities, if you're interested in crafting communities, there's knitting groups, there's painting groups, there's something for everybody in New York in terms of finding activities. Life itself is exciting. Life itself is also very, I want to say, humbling. As somebody who studied in New York, it kind of puts you in a place where you go, wow, I accomplished that. I was able to survive in a city like this on my own. How far is St. Francis College from Manhattan? We are one subway stop away. So from the residence halls to lower Manhattan is about, I want to say, 10 to 13 minutes on the subway. And that including a walk to the subway station and waiting for the subway to ride. And then also the New York City metro system. Seems complicated. You'll get it really easily. As soon as you know a few lines, you'll be able to get it like this. So that's a little bit of how far of a distance we're on it. I see some video versus a jazz musician, swing lover, sounds fantastic. First, I love that. As somebody who is interested in music and the arts, I really do admire the culture of New York. And also, as somebody who see a lot of cricket students, you have that community. And then I would love to kind of share the screen and kind of talk. And let my colleague Bora Dimitrov talk a little bit to you guys right now and be able to share some information to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anna. Hi, everyone. My name is Bora Dimitrov. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. And I was actually an international student at St. Francis College. So I joined early in 2012. I had a great experience at St. Francis as an international student. So what I can tell you is that everything that Anna and Liz said is absolutely true about St. Francis College. And even more than that, the experience that I had as an international student was truly amazing. So just to give you an idea and kind of to connect the dots, my story at St. Francis, as I mentioned, started in 2012, and I was a double major actually. So we support a lot of students, especially international students who want to pursue double majors. So whether if you're thinking about maybe, accounting, you can combine that information technology. If you're thinking about math, you can combine that with business management and so on and so forth. So diversify your portfolio. That's very, very important. I was a political science and economics major, had a wonderful faculty throughout my 4-year journey at the St. Francis College. And actually one of the faculty members helped me find an internship, going back to the networking of a lifetime that St. Francis College has to provide. So as I was going, obviously all of my colleagues and peers were getting some internships, and I really wanted to have one. And I was interested in international relations. So one of the faculty members actually connected me with the United Nations official. So I went to United Nations in my senior year, and I had a beautiful internship there. And it took me probably 20 minutes to commute from the college to United Nations building. If you don't know where it is, you can Google it. It's one of the most beautiful buildings in the island of Manhattan. And so, everybody can hear me. I'm sorry, it just feels like I froze for a second. So please be aware of these opportunities. Always think in advance. Think about how can you diversify your portfolio? How can you become, a great working professional, or how you can become a business owner? New York can offer all these things to you, and definitely put the opportunity in front of you that you can seize and take the moment and use it to your advantage. So my advice is to reach out to us via email. All of us provided our emails. You have the contact information. Please don't be shy. Feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to ask questions. We all had wonderful experiences with St. Francis College, and we are more than happy to tell you more about those, tell you more about the clubs and societies on campus, various ways in you can engage in the campus community, various ways in which you can network in your career field, whether if it's in accounting, business management, marketing, whatever that could be. No matter what you're interested in, we probably have it. And if we do, I think we will be a great match for you. So with that said, I'm not going to take more of your time. I'm going to refer it back to Anna. Again, you have my email in the chat. I'll type it in one more time. I'm happy to help and answer any inquiries you might have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bora. I always love hearing Bora talk, especially since he was a student at St. Francis College. He's able to speak kind of to that experience and be able to tell all of you kind of what life really is like as somebody who was in your shoes not too long ago, who was able to study there, and then also now works at the college and works talking with international students and building that community. I'll answer one more question, and then I'll kind of leave the floor open. I see one student ask of, what would be your recommendation to a high school student for getting a scholarship, which I think is a fantastic question. So like I said originally, number one, St. Francis College offers scholarship automatically on a merit-based and international one. So on an admissions end, we already come in with that scholarship. If you are a student that's looking for external scholarship, I recommend a lot of things. One, talk to your local embassy. Talk to your local embassy and also talk to your local Ministry of Education. See if they offer any scholarships for students that are trying to study internationally. See if they offer any stipends for students that are going to study internationally. That's number one. Number two is that I highly, highly recommend that you join our information sessions. So every 2 weeks, the next one is going to be on October 9th. Every 2 weeks, so we have for prospective students and for students who are admitted into the school, information sessions that each week covers a different topic. And then I believe it's next week. Yes, it's next week is when we're talking about how do I get a scholarship that's not through St. Francis College. So I also recommend simply Google scholarships for Turkish students, scholarships for students for living in this area, scholarships for students looking for an international education in psychology. And then we'll go over in our information session next week, kind of all these different details of how to look at that. But the very first place that I recommend for students is look at your local government and look to see at your local and national level what scholarships opportunities are available for you on a public and a private level. So, and then again, please come to our information sessions. I would love to see your faces. I would love to be able to get in touch with all of you. Maybe we're going to maybe do a giveaway too. So I would love to be able to have you on that call and be engaged and also meet other international students that are applying for the school. So that's going to be great. I see some other questions coming on in the chat. Bora is also dropping his WhatsApp information and his email information as well if you have any questions. We currently do not have a representative in Turkey for St. Francis College, but as Bora just said, as soon as the pandemic is kind of over, as soon as we're able to get our feet on the ground, our plan is to be in Turkey, to be in different places all over Europe, Central Asia, South America. We're planning on being there. So hopefully I get to see your faces. Actually, could somebody in the chat teach me how do I say hello in Turkish? Can somebody in the chat drop that in? Oh, I see somebody. Oh, does somebody want to teach me how to say that? Because I can read it. I don't know if I can pronounce it the right way.
Merhaba.
Merhaba?
Merhaba. Yeah, that's perfect.
Merhaba. So hello, everybody. Merhaba. And then how do I say goodbye? If it's ciao, I'm going to feel embarrassed because I know that's in multiple languages. Ooh, that's a lot of vowels thrown in there. How do I say goodbye, everybody? If anybody wants to write that phonetically, I would love. If I say bye-bye, is that a good one? If I say bye, is that recognized internationally for everybody on this call? If I went to Turkey and I just said bye, would everybody understand? Perfect. So maybe I'll do that. And then when I come in person, all of you can teach me how to say hello and goodbye. I would love that. If nobody else has any questions, I guess we'll end the presentation now. I first want to thank everybody. I want to thank, and then Burst, I don't know if it's Bursty or Burst, am I pronouncing your name right? I want to make sure that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And that's another thing too for everybody on this call. Your name is important. Your name is a representative of you and it's a representative of your country. So if anybody pronounces your name wrong, you make sure they pronounce your name right. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I want to thank everybody for their patience, for their time. I also want to thank the organizers for this event, giving us the space to be able to share more about our college. I would love to be in touch with you guys more. Please send us a message. Please submit an application. I would love to see you at our information session. Elizabeth, do you have any final words you want to share to everybody?
No final words, just that. Thank you. I just put in the chat. Thank you to all of the students who were so engaged and asking us so many questions. You are what made this presentation so great and so exciting for us as staff members of SFC. And so we hope to hear from you. We hope to keep the communication and this conversation going. So we hope that this is just the start and to hear from you soon.
Laura, do you have any final words?
Yes, Elizabeth, Anna, Bora, thank you very much. It was a very fruitful presentation and you covered all the questions. We received many questions and you covered all of them. It was very beneficial and informative. Thank you again. It was very nice to welcome you at the IEFT Talks webinars.
Absolutely. We loved being here. So we're going to see ourselves off. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time it is in the world that you're in. We hope to see you soon on our virtual and in-person campus, and we hope to make you all future carriers. So thank you all, and you have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Mark. Bye-bye.
Thank you.